questions? I know you have questions. Come on now. Right down here in the front. Both of those over there.
Beau, you guys 4 for 5 on 4th down. First of all, was it a mindset coming in? And second, what was your favorite 4th down play?
Well, I think, first of all, we got to stay out of 3rd and 4th down today. Way too many snaps of that. Got to stay out of that situation that we put ourselves in. But I think my favorite one was probably Brett. Was that 4th down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Brett. 2 touchdowns for him today. I'm proud of him for that. But like I said, we got to stay out of that situation. But execution was, was mandatory. We needed that, so it was good.
Well, you find yourself in a 15-point hole, you've got a fumble that's returned for a touchdown. Where do you draw on, the experience? What do you draw on in that moment to kind of dig yourself out of that hole and get where you are right now?
Yeah, it was a little ironic because my main message to the team this week was to bounce back when we face adversity. And that was kind of a self-inflicted wound for my behalf. It was really me that put us in that situation. But I mean, whether it was being down 15 or turnovers, I think everybody stepped up every single time, and that was huge. I think we grew a lot from that. It says a lot about just the character of this team. I thought everybody did a really good job handling adversity today.
Beau, I believe 9 different players had a reception today. Talk about how much, more dangerous this offense becomes once guys like Kevin and Brett and even Donovan are having big impacts on the game like they did today.
Yeah, I mean, to spread it around to multiple guys is really big, and Daniel Blood too, showing up on 3rd down, huge play. Really proud of him. It's guys like that I checked to that play because I trusted Blood, and because it's all the work that we put in the summer. There's a lot of trust with all of the tight ends, all the receivers, running backs, because they work extremely hard and we have a really good connection. So I have a lot of belief in them and vice versa. And anytime you have that, I think it's really big for the connection.
Beau, speaking of Donovan, just a little more. Everybody's going to remember the highlight reel-worthy catch, of course, but flashed on numerous occasions this afternoon. Just talk a bit about his growth from your first camp experience with him as a freshman, how much confidence he's already putting out there here through week 2.
Yeah, I mean, that catch, I wasn't really surprised because he's done it multiple times since he's been here as a true freshman. So when that happened, I put a lot of trust in him because he's done stuff like I just said. I have a lot of trust in these guys, and they're really good football players. So just really proud of him for that. But when you have a dude that can make a play like that, you got to give him a chance.
Beau, there's been a lot of talk about your leadership, and not just when you were down 21-6, but just in general since you've been here, just you emerging as a leader. I'm curious where that comes from. Has that always been a part of your game, and just how much of an emphasis is it for you to be a leader out there?
Being a quarterback, I think it's your responsibility to be the leader of the offense and a leader on the team. And it shows up the most in games like this, and when we're down, like I said, with adversity, you got to bring the guys along with you. And it's not just me. We have a lot of really good leaders on this team, and I think that showed up big time today for us.
Beau, we saw at the end of the first half against Central Arkansas kind of a hurry-up drill, and again on the drive to take the lead late in the fourth today. How comfortable are you leading the offense and having to throw the ball almost every play in a hurry-up scenario?
I think once you can find a rhythm, I think you just keep it going. I think anytime we're moving tempo, it kind of puts the defense in a tough position, and I think we work a lot on it as an offense. So anytime we can take advantage of that, we work hard in the offseason. Coach Russ does a great job with conditioning, so we can use tempo as a weapon.
Hey, Beau, Coleman Jr., can you describe why you clicked with him so well so early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, like everything I just said, we work really hard in the offseason. We spend a lot of time working routes. I remember when I first got here in January, and Kevin as well, the first thing we did was get together and do routes on air in the indoor, just working on that connection. And Kevin is a really good football player, really good wide receiver, and it's my job to just just give these guys the ball. Just give them an opportunity to make a play. So props to him for stepping up huge today, especially run after catch.
After the first quarter, would you say, would it be fair to say that the way you approach the offense changed with some of the mistakes that happened that allow you to recover and take the lead and win the game?
I don't think so. I don't think my mindset ever, obviously situational football, my mindset will change, but just in general, I think it's one play at a time mentality, and it's just, this drive, this play, don't have to do anything crazy, Yes, turning the ball over in the first quarter, it was tough. But after it happened, I can't do anything about it now. I'll learn from that. But moving forward, I can't let it affect the rest of the game.
Well, I think this was the first game of your college career that you started and finished all the way through. Did you recognize that at any point today, and what can you kind of draw from that?
Yeah, I guess I did. I didn't realize that, but it was a hard-fought game, and we got better today as a team. Anytime you play a good opponent like Kansas, props to them for battling through today. I think it just makes us better.
Any more questions for Beau? Joey?
Yeah, Beau, Coach Schmidt was just talking about kind of the adjustment of you being a little, kind of not nervous, but too much movement in the pocket to start, and then kind of adjusting to that throughout the game went on. With that, and just kind of broadly, how important do you think this game was to just kind of ease into the starting role, and how will that help you moving forward?
Just experience, I think any experience I get moving forward will help. He's probably right, I gotta do a better job settling in quicker, but I think any experience I can get, will help me moving forward.
Thanks, Beau.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beau.
Thanks, Beau.